What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, just want to give you guys a heads up that we are less than 220 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And as always, I've said before, I will say it again, if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. Excuse me. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this: who from NXT would you guys like to see get called up to the main roster in 2025? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, we actually have some interesting news to bring up amidst the fallout of NXT New Year's Evil. And before we do that, I gotta fix my tripod here. I gotta move this down a bit. Sorry guys, I'm trying to adjust my tripod here, trying to adjust the camera. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. Anyway, anyway, so finally was able to watch NXT New Year's Evil yesterday morning, and congrats to both Obafemi and Julia on becoming the brand new NXT champions, both on the men's and the women's side respectively. This actually brings up so many questions, and one of the biggest questions that has been brought up over the last 48 hours, especially since New Year's Evil is now in the record books. The big question is, where do Roxanne, Perez, and Trick Williams go from here? Interestingly enough, Roxanne's reign as NXT Women's Champion ended at 265 days or something like that, where Trick Williams in his second reign ended at just 98 days. It's weird because he wanted to silence the doubters. He wanted to silence all the haters, proving that he can that he can indeed carry the weight of NXT on his back. And throughout all of 2024, he did exactly that. He carried 2024. He carried NXT on his back throughout all of 2024, and became one. He became one of, if not the biggest name in NXT history, aside from Roxanne Perez. And it's weird because Roxanne had, always said that there was nobody on her level, no one can beat her, blah blah blah. But after New Year's Evil, Julia thinks otherwise, and interestingly enough, Booker T was just livid. He was like, nah, man, this was rigged, man, what the fuck? Literally, that was his thought process, that the match was rigged and that Roxanne should not have lost the NXT Women's title. But obviously, he knows that the future is still here. And this buys back into the initial question: where do Roxanne and Trick go from here? Well, there had been a lot of talk over the last year, actually, that apparently both of them are going to be on the main roster relatively soon. Now, obviously with all the changes now in full effect. Raw, obviously Monday Night Raw being moved to Netflix officially, with NXT's move to the CW this past October, and of course with SmackDown's move to the USA Network this past September. There's been a lot of talk, about the window transfer. There's been a lot of talk that Drew McIntyre will be going back to SmackDown, where I think Cody Rhodes will also will stay on SmackDown, and then Gunther I think is gonna stay on Raw from what I've been hearing. There's been a lot of chatter about that. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's the case. If I'm right, I think that's supposed to be the case. I think they're supposed to be staying, going, that's what's gonna end up happening. As far as the champions go, there have been a lot of talk that the tag titles, both the World and WWE tag titles, are supposedly going to be switching brands at some point. But I think honestly, it comes down to what's next for both. Again, what's next for both Trick and Roxanne. Interestingly enough, there's been a lot of talk that apparently they're gonna be on the main roster as soon as the Royal Rumble, but no later than like maybe Elimination Chamber in Toronto. There's been a lot of talk, but the question is, would the main roster call up work? Would it work in their favor, and would they stay for the long haul? Are they ready? Those are some of the big questions that that fans all over the world have been curious about. And the way I see it, I think it would work, especially given the fact that with SmackDown now being having moved to 3 hours officially, but apparently that's going to be temporary. Apparently it's going to last until sometime in the summer. But with that happening, and with the no timetable clause that Netflix gave Raw, there's a possibility that we could see both go to Raw. Excuse me. We could see them both go to SmackDown. We could see one go to Raw, one go to SmackDown, or do role reversal. The other goes to Raw, the other goes to SmackDown. The combinations are so out there. There's really no telling. But with Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown, there's been a lot of rumors that Trick Williams may end up on SmackDown to finish out his rivalry with Melo, and potentially have them reunite the Trick and Melo gang, where Trick may end up becoming a heel once again, which it's possible. But at this point now, because that he's one of the biggest baby faces in NXT, there's really no telling if the heel turn would work, or if it would just backfire in the end. No one really knows. However, one thing is for certain. I think honestly, I think they are ready, and the reason why is because you look at what they both did in 2024. We saw Carmelo Hayes get jumped, I think, by the Judgment Day last year, and excuse me, and And Trick just told Mel, "Hey, I'm only here to protect my investment. Plain simple." So he's been on the main roster a couple times, and then you got Roxanne Perez. The night after WrestleMania, we saw her in a match, I think against I want to say it was against hang on a second, guys. I need to look up YouTube. Give me 1 second, you guys. Here we go. YouTube. Let's see. Raw after Mania. Let's see. If my memory serves right, it's been about a year. We saw Roxanne Perez in a match against Indy Hartwell. That's who it was. It was against Indy Hartwell. Back when she was still signed with WWE, and it's weird because Roxanne, at that time, Indy was just doing her own thing, but that was when she was doing her own thing inside WWE. Now she's just doing her own thing outside of WWE. Obviously, I think she just recently got married. So congrats to her and her partner getting married. Incredible news. I don't know if those rumors are true. I think she might have gotten married, but still congrats nonetheless. But when you look at that match between both Indy and Roxanne, it made Roxanne look good. Like came off of a massive victory at Stand and Deliver over Lyra Valkyria and the NXT Women's title. And then of course you look at what they both did throughout all of 2024, and the title defenses that they had against superstars the likes of Thea Hale, the likes of Jordan Grace, Ethan Page, the likes of excuse me, the likes of Eddie Thorpe. It was this year was the year of Trick Williams and Roxanne Perez, and it ties back into the question: are they ready? Are they ready for the main roster? Honestly, yeah. Everything that I said is a fact. We saw Roxanne Perez win the NXT Year-End Award for Female Superstar of the Year, even though he didn't win Male Superstar of the Year. Trick Williams was indeed the MVP of NXT in 2024, literally carrying the brand on his back and literally just becoming arguably one of, if not the most entertaining dude in NXT. And that with that type of energy on the main roster, there's really no telling how far how far Trick is willing to go to make it to the top. And there's really no telling how long it would take for either Roxanne or Trick to get to the top of the mountain on the main roster. But who knows? I think like if we're looking at a timetable of when we can expect them on the main roster full time, I think the earliest would probably have to be the Royal Rumble. the latest will probably have to be like right either before or after WrestleMania. But it's mostly going to be right around the time of the Royal Rumble. So it'll be sometime between now and then. So there's still relatively about like what 2-3 weeks at best before that happens. I know that both are going to be guaranteed rematches for their titles, and granted they may take it, they may not, who knows. Knowing Roxanne Perez, she'll probably go to NXT this coming Tuesday and just say that it was a fluke. She that she didn't beat, that Julia didn't beat Roxanne. That she's still the NXT Women's Champion. Blah blah blah. And then as far as Trick goes, knowing Trick, he ain't gonna be making excuses for himself. He knew full well what he was getting himself into when he wanted that triple threat. He knew full well. And unlike Roxanne, Trick don't make excuses for himself. So it's gonna be interesting, but we will have to wait and see over time. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.